Hello and welcome. I'm Constellation Gaming, and this is Decklist December, where I'll be going through every single day in December and providing a deck list, whether it's something fun or something competitive. Today I've got something geared more towards the fun end. Um, I call it Little Guy Thunder or Thunderstorm Thunder, whichever you want to go by, either one works. Um, it's a deck mainly based around casting this card Thunderstorm here. Uh, Two Thunders target and destroy a rune, which is really good in this game since the entirety of this game is pretty much getting through your opponent's back row. Um, in order to help facilitate our Thunderstorm strategy and to find Thunderstorm, we have three Astro Rabbit. Astro Rabbit's the best Celestial in the game. I've pretty much said it in every single video. Look at the top three, pick whichever one you want. It's extremely strong. In this deck, re-enchanting Astro Rabbit is an even stronger play than in most due to the fact that you need your Thunderstorms in order to operate. And this is kind of a little combo deck, to be honest. You want to find multiple pieces and then kind of just go off in one turn. It's not really a deck that wants to, oops, that wants to just sit there and play guy after guy and fight and fight and fight. You want to just find a bunch of combo pieces and kind of go off on one turn. So playing your Astro Rabbit and re-enchanting it is a lot more potent in this deck than in other decks. Next is 3 Fun Glow. Fun Glow is a 1 cost Thunder Celestial that's a 1/1. Uh, he says Thunder Enchanted Celestials get +1 attack, so he's essentially a 2/1 with his own ability. Not really that great, obviously, not good at all to be honest. It's very bad, however, buffing all your other Celestials can be pretty good. Um, and then his second ability is kind of the reason you play it. It says when a player casts Thunderstorm, you can special cast a Brontiglow from your hand or deck. So Brontiglow, we'll go look over here. He is a 2 cost 6/5 that says you can disenchant a Thunder from your Fun Glow in order to suppress each Celestial on an opponent's field until the end phase. When this Brontiglow destroys an Celestial in battle, you can bring back a Fun Glow from the Underworld. So the important thing to know about this combo is it says special cast, not special ascend. So your Fun Glow will still be on the board to be able to suppress an Celestial, uh, just for whichever reason you might want to. Say like a Viscerus is stronger or something like that. Then next combo piece here is 3 Titano Strike. Titano Strike is a 1 cost 2/4. Says when a player casts Thunderstorm, you can expend 1 Earth in order to target and destroy an Celestial. So you cast out Thunderstorm, destroy a rune, expend 1, target and destroy an Celestial, and then hopefully you also have a Fun Glow out so you can special ascend. That's like the dream play that you would want to have with this deck is having 2 of these on board and casting a Thunderstorm in order to destroy an Celestial and cast out a Brontiglow. Next, you've got 2 Platypus. Platypus is just because mainly we have a lot of smaller bodies, so Platypus really helps with the fact that we have smaller bodies because he's a 1/1, yeah, but he says Celestials that are not Thunder Enchanted get -1 attack for each Thunder Enchanting on your field. Uh, Total attack reduce of effects, blah blah blah. Effects of Celestials named Platypus cannot reduce an Celestial's attack by more than 4 total. So that means even if you have multiple Platypus and more than 4 spirits, you can only do up to 4 even with the combination of these two. So actually just having 2 Platypus out is -4. Uh, Shoot, I might throw a third one in now that I look at that. Anyways, this deck is not the best, obviously, against other Thunder decks. However, like I stated before, this is just more of a fun combo deck more than anything. It's not really a tier 1 competitive deck. Uh, so next you've got your 3 of Eddie, just because Eddie is the like one of the best in the game. He gets rid of everything except for Gorgon's Gaze, or not gets rid, gets through every counter rune except for Gorgon's Gaze, and pretty much gets rid of every Celestial that's a 1-drop, because their combined stat line most of the time, one of their stats is going to be smaller than his, uh, even to the point where PTA he'll still be able to crash with a majority of them. Like if you look at all these Celestials, he can, even though these are smaller ones. So that's not the best example. Rabbit's kind of the most prominent example of this, though, is even if he changes it and they PTA, Eddie can crash the Rabbit. So it's just extremely strong, and that's why Eddie's played a lot. Next, and to finish out the Celestial package, you've got 2 Quackle. Quackle says when you cast it, you can return 3 Thunder from your Underworld to your Spirit deck. It's Ambrosia on a body. Extremely good, just due to the fact that life in this game is, like I've said, it just allows you the ability to play the game longer, due to the fact that everything in this game that you do takes your life. So now we'll move on to the runes. Got 3 Poison Tipped Arrow. Both parts of this can be very relevant due to the fact that, as you've noticed and as I've pointed out, we have a lot of smaller attack guys, so subtracting their attack by -2 can be nothing to sniff at, especially if there's a Platypulse on board. That can be -4 total, and a lot of Lestrals, especially as a 1-drop, they're not going to have more attack than 5 anyways coming on board. The only one that I can think of right off the rip is Moss Station, and he'd be a 2 attacker with a combination of like Platypulse and like and Poison Tipped Arrow. Uh, well, Platypulse something else on board and Poison Tipped Arrow technically, but yeah. Uh, and then also removal is removal, and it's very limited in this game ever since the limits to these 2 cards over here, the Earthquake and the Laurels. Um, Next, we've got 3 Shield of Achilles. Shield says when an opponent attacks you, you pretty much just bounce it back to hand. Really good for protecting our small guys. Since everything gets over it, we're pretty much, that's why we're playing the 3 rather than using Alter or anything like that. We don't really care about keeping their guys on board. We just really want to keep our guys alive more than anything. Tsunami, for that same reason, it's just a complete nullification of a battle phase and anything that's not water. Gorgon's Gaze. Gorgon's Gaze is simply the best counter rune in the entire game due to the fact that it literally says no to everything. Target an Celestial on if its effect is on the chain, negate it until the end phase that Celestial is suppressed, can't receive enchantments, attack, nexus, and ascend. So literally everything in the entire game that an Celestial can do, pretty much, it can't do. Next, we've got 3 of Ambrosia. Uh, Already kind of talked about the healing with Quackle, so don't really need to get into it more. Uh, like I said before, 3 Thunderstorm to facilitate your Funglow and your Titano Strike strategy, and to destroy runes. Even if you don't have the pieces that, like these little pieces here, it can still just be relevant to destroy a rune and get over something, especially if you already have like a ascended into a Bronticlo or something. 1 Earthquake, 1 Laurels, just because removal is very limited in this game. As you can see, we've got 5 total active removal spells. So just run as much as you can. And we don't really have, as you can see, we're not really struggling spirit-wise. So yeah. 1 Zeus, because we can play 1 Zeus, otherwise I'd play more. 1 Mount Olympus, honestly, just kind of couldn't, like, I want to play more due to the fact that we have smaller bodies, but I couldn't fit more in the deck. There wasn't any room. And if I had the ability to play more Zeus, I'd probably play another Zeus over the Mount Olympus anyways. So yeah. Um, Next, our Spirit deck looks a little wonky in comparison to what we've got up there, because obviously for 3 Eddy, 3 Tsunami, you're not gonna need 5 Leviathan. That's a little heavy. Like you genuinely need 3 for this. However, we are running a sideboard package where a lot of our spirits in this deck are in. Two of for the earthquake here for the earth spirits. 11 Zaptor because that's the main thing in our deck is just thunder. 2 Vipyro. The reason why we've got the Vipyro, as you got a little glimpse of, the Lavalith. Uh, we're we're playing one of Lavalith in the sideboard. Lavalith is a 6/4, says whenever you're 2 spirits behind, you can normal cast it out with 2 fire, and when he's normal cast, you can target and destroy a rune. So really good. He was limited to 1 for a reason. We had the room in the spirit deck, so figured we could just run him in the side in case we're getting outpaced by, I mean, a majority of decks can outpace us if we're being honest. So he's just a good possible inclusion to have in the side. Next we got 3 Galaxy. 3 Galaxy really just as a Galaxy counter. To be honest, that's why it's in pretty much every side deck that I play, is because the best Galaxy counter is Galaxy itself. And also Dense Fog, but Galaxy is a lot better to draw into than a Dense Fog, to be honest. 1 Arcolith, just because we're running a lot of Thunder, and if they are kind of just being really aggressive and not respecting the fact that Arcolith is played in Thunder and just leaving to attack position Celestials all the time, you can swap into it really easily, and this can just win the game when it comes down. Like, there's been many games where I've lost to just this dropping on the board. Next, have a small little heal stall package in here. Got the last Quackle for the heals, and then 3 Sluggle, which just is water Quackle as a 2/2. Um, as you can see, we've got enough spirits to operate a Sluggle if we want to move that in. So that's part of the reason why we're also utilizing more spirits than we really need to, because we do have room, so it doesn't really matter if we just leave these in uh, the main deck. Next, we have Argo package here, because all of our guys are small, so if we're noticing they're just not respecting anything or the possibility of Argo, uh, just running 3 of Argo in the sideboard. Argo says it can only be cast if an yeah after an Celestial declares an attack, cast an artifact rune from your hand or your deck. So we're just playing 3 to match the 3 Argos, because if we draw into it, we'll just sit on it for the most part until we do play Argo. So, Necklace of Harmonia, just 2 Omni Rune. The Empowered Celestial gets +5 during their end phase. The controller must expend 2 if they can't destroy the necklace. So just a combat trick to make sure that we can save one of our guys 1 turn, and then we'll probably just cast Ambrosia or cast a thunderstorm off of it, because it does cost 2, so we could literally just enchant it, kill something, and then use that 2 to cast our thunderstorm in the next turn. So that way we don't have to worry about the Harmonia expend either. Poison Tunic, another Omni Rune that costs 2. Empowered Celestial gets -2 attack. When the empowered Celestial is destroyed, its controller must expend 2. So, uh, they just there's a very good chance, just like I said, with all of our smaller guys, they just don't respect the fact that even though we do have very small stat lines, we can be running Argo and we can be running it in the sideboard too. So if it's a really close game, you could always just poison Tunic and have them literally kill themselves. That has happened. Next, two Thunderbolt or one Thunderbolt of Zeus, 2 cost Thunder Spirit or Thunder Rune. Empowered Celestial gets +2. If you've noticed, it's kind of like everything gives us at least +2 in a way, due to the fact that like with Platypulse and with a lot of our effects, we are just like two, 1 or 2 attack away from being able to get over and being able to kill stuff. So just the 2 attack different flips can make a big difference. So that's why all of our enchanted or all of our runes have at least +2 attack on it. And when enchanted or empowered, sorry, Celestial destroys an opponent's Celestial in battle, they must expend 1. If Zeus is enchanted, they must expend 2. So same thing with Poison Tunic, they can just kill themselves on Thunderbolt to Zeus. And sometimes giving yourself +2 attack is more beneficial than -2 attack. Just say you're trying to get like over a rabbit or something, it's very possible that you can just attack Argo in the battle phase and then Thunderbolt to Zeus over to get over the rabbit, rather than just -2 in the attack. So that's why I like to have a Thunderbolt to Zeus and a Poison Tunic rather than just 2 Poison Tunic, since they're kind of doing the same thing, but in a different way. But that's the entirety of the list. Let me know what you guys think. Leave a like, leave a comment. If you enjoyed the video, subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow for another deck list. You guys have a good day.